Good day and welcome. You're watching St. Martin News Desk, where we bring you the latest and most important stories around the island and beyond. With your anchor crew, Alston Lawrence, Glenda York, Tiziana Hart, and Mizzy with the Sunshine Report. This broadcast is brought to you by TV15 and proudly produced by Great Bay Media Studios in Phillipsburg, St. Martin. And now, let's jump straight into today's top headlines.
My name is Naomi Adriana. I am replacing Alston Lawrence. Welcome to NEWSDESK. Justice partners strengthen cooperation to enhance public safety. Law enforcement and justice agencies have reaffirmed their commitment to a coordinated approach to public safety following a high-level meeting held at the Phillipsburg Police Station on Thursday. The session, hosted by KPSM, brought together representatives from the police force, immigration and border protection services, customs, and other departments within the Ministry of Justice to discuss strategies for strengthening cooperation and improving operational effectiveness. Discussions focused on enhancing information sharing, expanding joint operations, and identifying investigations and enforcement activities that would benefit from a multi-agency approach. Participants also examined ways to better coordinate efforts related to border security, crime prevention, public safety, and compliance with local laws and regulations. Officials agreed that many of the challenges facing St. Martin require a unified response and that combining resources, expertise, and operational capabilities can lead to more effective enforcement outcomes. The agencies confirm that coordination meetings will continue on a regular basis to establish priorities, develop joint strategies, and maintain a collaborative approach aimed at creating a safer and more secure St. Martin for residents and visitors alike.
IATA issues fines, shuts down fuel pumps. The Inspection Department of Economic and Transport Affairs, known as IATA, has issued more than 7,000 guilders in fines following a series of intensified inspections across St. Martin. According to Economic Affairs Minister, the Honorable Grisha Heiliger Martin, inspectors targeted supermarkets, retail stores, gas stations, and other businesses to ensure compliance with consumer protection and licensing regulations. More than 5,100 guilders and fines were issued to supermarkets and retailers for violations involving maximum price control, missing price displays, and licensing issues. An additional 2,350 guilders and fines were imposed on gas stations and related businesses. One of the key areas of focus was fuel pump calibration. While most pumps met legal standard, inspectors found several that exceeded permitted tolerance levels. Those pumps were immediately taken out of service until corrective measures could be completed and compliance verified. Minister Heiliger Martin said that inspections are designed to protect consumers, support responsible businesses, and maintain a fair marketplace. She emphasized that the goal is not to hinder business operations, but to ensure transparency and accountability. IATA says both routine and surprise inspections will continue throughout 2026 as part of ongoing efforts to strengthen consumer protection and regulatory compliance across the country.
Rotten meat odor forces closures. At least 2 businesses along Ring Road were forced to close after a strong stench from spoiled meat spread through the area. According to reports, the odor came from a carnival boot container that had been left near Pelican Park after the carnival season. The container reportedly still had meat stored inside, and the meat spoiled after electricity to a freezer was disconnected. The situation worsened when the rotten meat was allegedly removed from the container and dumped into the pond. Videos circulating on social media showed decomposing meat floating in the water and flies around the container. Affected business owners say the smell became unbearable, making it impossible to operate on Wednesday. The St. Martin Chamber of Commerce and Industry, COSI, says the container was placed on its Pelican Park property without permission. COSI has since removed the container and cleaned and sanitized the area. The chamber says stricter rules are now in effect, and any unauthorized containers, vehicles, equipment, or materials placed on Pelican Park property may be removed at the owner's expense.
Hello, my people. My name is Glenda York of Sit, Sip, and Chat and Moms in Paradise podcast. You can find us on TV15 St. Martin, TVC St. Kitts, and on YouTube. Reporting from Great Bay Media Studios in St. Martin, your NEWSDESK feature story is coming up. But first, here is Mizzy with the Sunshine Report.
Hey there, it's Mizzy with the Sunshine Report, straight out of Sunshine City, St. Martin, bringing you the warmth and the sunshine you need to kickstart your day. So let's dive into today's forecast and see how the skies are treating us.
My lord, I heard there's a lot of teams that are coming to Battle of the Fittest this year. And I also heard that the Spanish team is coming back. How can we win? This is madness. Madness? This is Battle of the Fittest! This is where they die! This is where we win! This is war!
From June the 20th to July the 4th, 2026 is the Battle of the Fittest 10 basketball tournament live from the legendary NEWSDESK Sport Auditorium featuring top teams from across the Caribbean. St. Kitts, Stacia, Dominica, St. Martin, British Virgin Island, Dominican Republic, Curacao, and Aruba. $10,000 up for grabs. This is where legends are made. The Battle of the Fittest 10 basketball tournament from June the 20th to July the 4th at the NEWSDESK Sports Auditorium. Bring your A game because only the strong will survive.
This is war!
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every life, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never a fair. I know, tell them it's there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Stay connected to the best of local and Caribbean content anywhere, anytime with the TVC Plus app, the official app of TVC Channel 40. With the TVC Plus app, you can watch TVC Channel 40 live, catch every episode of your favorite shows on demand, watch exclusive pay-per-view content, listen to Voice of the Caribbean radio, and watch and read SKN Newsline. The TVC Plus app is available on all your devices. On the Google Play Store, search TVC and the plus sign. In the Apple App Store, type the words TVC Plus. And we're also available on the Amazon App Store for Fire TV and Fire Stick devices. Search the words TVC Plus. Download today and take TVC Channel 40 wherever you go.
All right, don't miss NEWSDESK. Weekdays at 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. on TVC. Sync Kids to the World, now streaming everywhere.
ODM urges construction sector to prepare as hurricane season begins. The Office of Disaster Management is urging contractors, developers, builders, and excavation companies to ensure all construction sites are storm ready as the 2026 Atlantic hurricane season gets underway. The reminder comes as Tropical Storm Arthur, the first named storm of the season, briefly formed near the Middle Texas coast before weakening and dissipating after moving inland. Despite its short lifespan, Arthur brought heavy rainfall and flooding concerns to parts of the U.S. Gulf Coast, serving as an early reminder of the risks associated with tropical weather systems. ODM warned that unsecure construction materials, scaffolding equipment, and debris can become dangerous projectiles during severe weather, threatening lives, property, and critical infrastructure. Contractors are being reminded that all construction, trenching, and excavation sites should be capable of being secured within 48 hours of a tropical storm or hurricane threat. Officials are encouraging site managers to review hurricane preparedness plans, remove unnecessary debris, secure heavy equipment, and ensure workers understand their responsibilities before a storm approaches. Once a storm watch is issued, contractors should immediately begin securing materials and equipment while postponing deliveries and non-essential work. ODM emphasized that hurricane preparedness is a shared responsibility and said proactive planning by the construction sector can significantly reduce storm-related damage while helping to strengthen community resilience throughout the season.
APS announces pension increase. The Algemeen Pensioenfonds St. Martin, APS, has announced a 0.92% pension increase, marking the third consecutive year that pensioners will receive indexation. APS says the increase is supported by the fund's healthy coverage ratio of 116.23% and is based on consumer price index data. The adjusted pension amount is expected to be paid in July 2026, retroactive to January 2026. The announcement comes as APS presented a clean audit report to Finance Minister Marinka Gums and reported that its assets under management have now surpassed 1 billion guilders. The fund also recorded a positive financial result of approximately 27 million guilders for 2025. Driven mainly by investment income and disciplined portfolio management. Minister Gums welcomed the results, saying a strong and sustainable pension system is important for retirees and future generations. APS says future pension increases will continue to depend on the fund's financial health, economic conditions, and investment performance.
Council of Advice flags concerns over screening of justice personnel. The Council of Advice of St. Martin has raised concerns about risks associated with proposed measures governing the screening of justice personnel, warning that several legal and practical issues require careful consideration. In its advice on draft legislation, the Council noted that while integrity screening is an important tool for safeguarding the justice chain, the proposed framework must strike a balance between security interests, legal certainty, privacy protections, and the rights of employees and applicants. The Council highlighted concerns regarding the scope of the screening process, the handling of personal information, and the criteria used to assess individuals working within justice-related institutions. It also questioned whether certain aspects of the proposal provide sufficient safeguards and clarity for those affected. The advisory body emphasized that maintaining trust and integrity within the justice sector is essential, but cautioned that screening measures must be implemented in a manner that is transparent, proportionate, and legally sound. The observation formed part of the legislation review process as the government continues efforts to strengthen integrity and security standards within the justice system.
Hey there, I'm Venicia Herbert, and welcome to the Community Billboard. This is your space where the people, places, and heartbeat of the St. Martin community get to speak for themselves. Whether it's an event worth showing up for, a business worth knowing about, or a cause worth caring about, you'll hear it right here. So, settle in, because what's coming up next just might be exactly what you've been looking for. Welcome to the NEWSDESK Community Billboard.
Every summer, young people across St. Martin are ready to learn, grow, and contribute to the workforce. All we need is an opportunity.
As youth, we are calling on businesses, organizations, government departments to step up and invest in the future of our island through corporate social responsibility.
By opening your doors to young people, you are helping to build a stronger, more prepared St. Martin for tomorrow.
A summer job is more than just work experience. It helps you develop confidence, responsibility, communication skills, and valuable professional experience that can help shape their future.
Your organization can make a real difference by becoming a host partner in the 2026 BOP program.
For more information, contact Department of Youth XSM on Facebook, email deptofyouth@stmartingov.org.
We are counting on you. Register today.
The 4th annual Mango Fest is coming up on Sunday, June 28th at Ebenezer Estate, but you have no idea how to get there. No worries, follow me. From the LB Scott Road, past the South Reward Catholic Church. Then take the last bridge before you reach the Milton Peters College. Take a right and head to the Ebenezer Estate Playground. Simple! You could either park outside of the venue or park at the Catholic Church and make a short walk to the event. The 4th annual Ebenezer Mango Fest, Sunday, June 28th, starting at 4 p.m. Entrance is free.
Me and you underneath the mango tree. K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
To be part of our mailing list, send an email to newsdesksxm@gmail.com.
Let's put everything on the table. People always give their opinion, and you can either take it or crunch it. Let them judge. We give in to the most irresistible flavor. We devour every nugget that falls in our hands, especially when it's our crunchy fried chicken. And let the crumbs fly if needed. Let them keep judging. We'll keep indulging. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
You could talk to your family, talk to your friends. Affordability and convenience. Community connection, that makes sense. Reliability with experience. Hey, for every love, every adventure. Number one provider, they got ya. We tell them your data is always on. You can opt out whenever you want. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to roll. Control my data, yeah, yeah, yeah. Always connected every time, everywhere. Money low, but I never fair. I know, tell them is there. Connectivity, that's what I like. Flexibility, that's what I like. Reliability, that's what I like. Tell them, sign me up for life. Tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Come tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to go. Come tell them we always on. For every moment when you want more. Tell them we always on. Stay connected when you want to road.
Before we wrap up, we take a moment each day to check in with our neighbors across the region. There's always a story worth paying attention to. Here's today's regional headline.
Guyana seeks new sugar model. In regional news, Guyana's president, Dr. Irfan Ali, is challenging the country's main sugar union to help manage one of Guyana's sugar estates. Speaking at the 78th commemoration of the Anmore Martis, President Ali invited the Guyana Agriculture and General Workers Union, known as GAWU, to take up management of an estate and help turn it into a model operation. The president said government is exploring different approaches to ensure the long-term survival and profitability of the sugar industry. He also expressed dissatisfaction with Gaisuco's failure to consistently meet production targets, calling for greater accountability, efficiency, and results. Ali said sugar remains more than an industry, describing it as part of Guyana's rural economy, heritage, and community life. Government is also pursuing modernization, including mechanical harvesting, drone technology for crop monitoring, factory upgrades, and value-added sugar production. The president said the goal is to strengthen the industry while creating opportunities for workers through retraining, retooling, and new pathways for growth.
Welcome back. Each day we take a moment to go beyond the headlines and look deeper into the issues, people, and conversations shaping life here on St. Martin. Welcome to today's News Desk feature.
Teachers and school staff do not wait for vacation allowance as a luxury. For many families, that payment helps cover planned expenses, household obligations, travel, and the simple need to recover after a demanding school year. That is why the latest concern raised by the Windward Island Teachers Union, Y2, about Charlotte Brookson Academy for the Performing Arts is more than an administrative complaint. It is another question about whether the school employees are being treated with the certainty, respect, and accountability they deserve. According to Y2 President Roxana Ponteflet, teachers and non-teaching staff of public and subsidized schools are legally entitled to vacation allowance once per calendar year during the second half of June. The union stresses that this payment is not a bonus, it is not a favor, it is not something extra that employees should have to beg for. It is a known yearly obligation. And because it is known, Y2 argues that every responsible school board should budget for it, calculate it properly, request the required subsidy on time, and follow up long before the payment period arrives. But according to information brought to the union, staff at CBA were reportedly informed on Monday, June 15th, that no funds had yet been deposited for vacation allowance. By Tuesday, they were allegedly told that the board was meeting with finance because the school had not been receiving the correct amount over the past few months. For Y2, that explanation raises some serious concerns. The union's position is that responsibility rests with CBA as the employer and school board. If the school was not receiving the correct subsidy amount, Y2 says that that should have been identified and addressed earlier, not during the period when staff expected payment. That is the heart of the issue. Teachers and support staff should not have to absorb the stress caused by administrative delays, incorrect calculations, late submissions, or weak follow-up. Those responsibilities belong to the management. This concern also comes against the backdrop of another unresolved matter involving CBA staff. Recently, affected employees raised questions about their registration in the APS pension plan, while pension contributions were allegedly being deducted from their salaries. Now, with vacation allowance also in question, Y2 is pointing to what it sees as a troubling pattern. When employees repeatedly face uncertainty over money they are entitled to, confidence breaks down. And in education, that breakdown matters. Teachers are already under pressure. They manage classrooms, guide students, support families, handle emotional demands, prepare lessons, and help shape the country's future. The last thing they should be worrying about is whether their employer will meet basic financial obligations. Respect for education cannot only come through speeches. It must show up in payroll, it must show up in pension registration, it must show up in clear communication, and it must show up before employees are left anxious and guessing. Y2 is now calling on the CBA board to provide staff with a clear written explanation. The union wants to know the current status of the vacation allowance, when the issue was first identified, what actions were taken to resolve it, and the exact date staff will receive their payment. That request is reasonable. If there is a subsidy problem, explain it clearly. If there was an administrative error, identify it. If a payment date is known, give it in writing. And if deeper structural issues exist, then the Ministry of Education and other responsible authorities must ensure they are corrected. Because this is no longer only about one delayed payment. It is about trust between a school board and the people who keep the institution running. CBA staff deserve certainty, they deserve transparency, and above all, they deserve to know that the money connected to their work, their benefits, and the future is being handled properly. At the end of the day, educators should be focused on students, not chasing answers about money they are already entitled to receive.
That's all the time we have for today's edition of St. Martin News Desk. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, new episodes premiere every weekday at 8 a.m. on TV 15 and across all our social media platforms. From all of us here at News Desk, we wish you a fantastic week ahead. Until next time, stay friendly, St. Martin.